Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. We'll surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards of Football. Special thanks to our producer today to making it happen, the very talented Mr. Logan Landis. Our video today is the Green Bay Packers from 1960 to 1968 under Vince Lombardi. Or I should say Vincent Lombardi. I'm your host with the same name, first name, Vincent Turner. And joining me is the very talented writer out of FirstRoundMark.com that covers all the NFL prospects of last year's 2024 NFL Draft. A very talented writer coming to us live out of Grand Junction, Colorado Rocky Mountain High. The very talented Mr. William Yanish, and we know him as the rock star. So if you like the video today, please share and comment. We appreciate you on 100 Yards of Football. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers, Mr. Yanish. 1960 to 1968 under the great Vincent Lombardi.
Oh man, starting this thing out, we go back, pre-Super Bowl, and they got a trophy, the NFL championship trophy. Didn't even have a name yet, 60s come in, I don't even. Back-to-back championships, 61, 62, having the Hall of Famers on there, Bart Starr, Jim Taylor, Paul Hornig, just all who they were, the coach running schemes, that had never been seen before, in the league, things that had started out and having the players and then, the competition of the AFL coming in. Just driving things up and making what this is today, man. I mean, tell me some of the history to start out, man.
I'm gonna tell you about the Green Bay Packers. 1960 was the year I was born, and at the time the National Football League, really, you didn't know what was going on. All I knew about at the time, from me being an adolescent up to the mid-60s, were the Giants and the Cleveland Browns, Jim Brown, Frank Gifford. But when Vince Lombardi took this job in 1959, he was an assistant with the New York Giants and with the Green Bay. And doing my research, I said, why would he want to go way to Green Bay, Wisconsin, an organization that had no history of winning, and it was about ready to drop the franchise? But Vince Lombardi had something in him from a coaching standpoint. He was old school. And he took the same players, man. Think about that was losing. And he took a quarterback in Bart Starr and turned him into a champion. And the one thing I like about Vince Lombardi, he didn't make life difficult. He didn't make life difficult as a football coach. He had three principles. And we should take this in life. If you love something, you should be committed. If you love something, you should have the discipline to do it. And number three, this is why the Green Bay Packers became the first dynasty in the National Football League. Sacrifice. I love that word, sacrifice. And that's why Vince Lombardi, from 1960 to 1968, won 89 games as a head coach in Green Bay. Lost only 29 games. Only tied 4 games. That's what you call a standard of excellence. 1961, the Packers' first championship. They defeated the New York Giants 37-0. Came back in 62, defeated the Giants 16-7. Defeated the Cleveland Browns in 1965 with the great Jim Brown 23-12. And then in 1966, they won the first Super Bowl tournament ever. That defeated the Dallas Cowboys 34-27. Then they went up to the Super Bowl and killed and blasted the Kansas City Chiefs with Len Dawson and Otis Taylor and Buck Buchanan 35-10. Then they came back the following year and won back-to-back Super Bowls 33-14 over the Oakland Raiders. And what I'm going to take from that today is Vince Lombardi took the same group of players that were losing when he got there in 1960 and turned them into champions. 1959. He took the same man under the center box star and turned him into a Super Bowl champion. The heart of the defense wasn't the nastiest, meanest linebackers. We talk about Dick Buckus. We talk about Willie Nipple. We need to put Ray Nitschke up there. The force wheel of that defense with David Robinson, with Willie Wood, with the great legend out of Grambling State University, Willie Davis. And then Paul Hornung on offense, the golden boy from Notre Dame. Forrest Gregg, State of Texas, SMU. And that's why the Green Bay Packers was the first dynasty in the National Football League under one of the greatest coaches ever, Vince Lombardi. Back to you, Mr. Yanish.
Sitting here looking at this, and to start out, the Super Bowl era, nobody has ever had a three-peat. Well, it kind of started out that way, because of the 1965 championship. They were still, what they called, world champions. And I mean, that right there makes them.
That's a good point.
Definitely.
Good point.
They were the original dynasty. They were one of the greatest dynasties, having a three-peat there, and the players they had in Lombardi, and it finally became the Lombardi Trophy, 1970. It, when Vince Lombardi died, or being presented, as the Lombardi Trophy, and now we have the greatest show on TV ever, to end our season, and that is the greatest thing about having football, being a football fan, and just what this meant to put everything together, to merge with the AFL, to get to the point we are now, to be sitting here talking to you, in my living room, writing articles on my lazy boy, sitting here running through social media all day long. And it's like crazy to, think about how you can do this now with how, just football started, and I just started as fanship, and now, everybody wants a piece of it. And, that's a beautiful thing. So I'll end it there, Vince.
My final words today about the Green Bay Packers, the first true dynasty in the National Football League. And me being a Dallas Cowboys fan at a young age, the Green Bay Packers broke my heart early on in my life twice. But the biggest disappointment I'm going to take away from the Green Bay Packers organization, the Ice Bowl. 13 degrees below, and Bob Starr scored a touchdown on a 1-yard sneak with 13 seconds left. I'm never going to get that out of my memory. How close and how good that football game was. Tom Landry going against Vince Lombardi. The quarterbacks that were on the field that day, Bob Starr, Craig Morton, Bob Hayes for the Cowboys, Bob Lilly, Leroy Jordan, so many great players. And that game goes down as still one of the greatest football games ever. And we look at what a game is at today with Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady wrapping up his fabulous career. But it all started with the young man who decided in 1959, I'm going to go to a little town in Wisconsin, Green Bay, Wisconsin. And he turned around this great game, which we know as the National Football League. If you like the video today, please comment and share it. Very special thanks to our talent producer, Mr. Logan Landers. And the very talented Mr. William Yanish III joining me today here on 100 Yards Football. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. Be blessed and have a wonderful weekend. 100